In this video, we're going to pick up where we left off with the user validation. So I'm basically going to reuse that code, and this time we're just going to simply we're going to create a do-while loop on this so that a user can play again. So remember what I said in class, the first thing you're going to do is make this into a make your program work, and then you add the do while on after everything is done. So now let's update our user validation program. So we'll add step 6 here that says ask the user to play again, something like that. So we'll say, do you want to do another, analyze another letter or something like that. Okay, so to do this, we have our variables, and we have our scanner, and this really starts where we're starting our program here, where we ask the user to send a message to the user and get this input. So this is where we'd start our do while loop. So we just simply do. We come down here, and now this was the end of our main. That's why I like to say end main and end class. But right now, this, if we do click here, it thinks it's going to be lined up with this do. And now if we click this, it's going to be lined up to our main. So now our class will not have a matching bracket. So to do that, what we'll do is we'll just simply put our cursor here, and we'll say, and this is actually, we're going to put our while. So this will be while, and then we'll fill this in and put our semicolon here. So now if we do our auto layout, everything should move over. And now when we click this curly bracket here, this will line up with our do. So, and then this will line up with our main, and then this will line up with our class. So now all we simply have to do is just ask the user system.out.println enter yes to play again. And actually, so if we put this in here, we'll see that we close our string. So to do this, we can escape it. We'll escape this guy there and here. Okay, enter yes to play again. And we'll close our quotes here, and now it'll all turn green again. And then no to stop. And actually, if they put anything other than yes, this will work. Actually, let's pull these quotes off, because this might confuse our users, and they might put those exclamation marks in there, and then that would throw everything off. So we'll say enter yes to play again, or no to stop. And then all we simply have to do now is we can either create a variable down here, or we could simply just say input, since that's our scanner character, dot next line. Now you have to be careful on this. If above here you put next, you would have to put next down here. Otherwise, if you did next line, you're always going to be grabbing that /n at the end. So let's do that. Let's show you this here now while we're here. So we'll say next, and then we'll do next here. And just for grins, we'll put this in and watch what happens. So, well, input.nextLine.equals, and this is going to be .equals because this is going to be a string, that equals ignore case yes, we're going to play again. And notice I had, this is an argument in here. So we have input, so that's our scanner object. Next line, we're going to grab the string dot equals ignore case, and we put yes, and then this should be good. We'll compile end class. See, so it end. Oh, I didn't put a comment in there. So it said class. What's class? There we go. Now we'll compile. Okay, so now we compiled, and I contend that no matter what we put in here to play again, it's just going to print the message and it's going to automatically turn off. We're going to say, wait a second, what happened? We entered yes, and we're not even going to get an opportunity to enter yes because, let's do this, we'll enter A, bang, and then we stopped. Why did we stop? We stopped because if we look at our code, when we did this next line, we grabbed that invisible /n. So if you did next above here, if you do next down here, you'll actually ignore that because next is only looking for spaces. So it'll see that /n, it'll say, nope, let me go down to the next line and keep going. So let's do next here and see what happens. So no compilers. So let's rerun this guy. Okay, so we'll enter C, and now if we say we want to play again, notice we have our cursor here because it's grabbing neg, it's waiting for us to put something in. If we put yes, okay, we're going to enter A, B, or C. So now this time we're just going to keep going roundy, 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 and then we're not going to let our users go until they give us something. Let's enter B this time, capital B. Okay, and then it said you selected B. This is that's our if-else statement. Here's our switch statement, and then let's say no here. Okay, and we're out. Okay, so now let's do the same thing, and just for grins, let's say this is next line, and this is next line. Because those are next lines, we'll do next line here. We'll compile, and then let's try it again and see what happens. Okay, so A, B, or C, so we'll enter A. Okay, and then it's going to ask us to play again, so we'll say yes. So like I said, if you do the next line above, make sure you do next line below in your while loop. If you do next above, do next below. So we'll enter C, and we'll say no. We'll come out of here. Okay, so that concludes our video on doing a do while loop, and then we'll do one more video on adding or looking at the concatenating the first three letters that users put in on a single line until they get to the word quit, and that'll be similar to what we're doing on reverse. So I'll see you in a couple minutes.